Welcome to this video about Google Fonts. In this video I will explain how you can tell whether Google Fonts are used on your website and whether they are really integrated locally in compliance with the GDPR. In the event that the fonts are not hosted locally on your server but are sourced directly from Google, I will also explain how to load the Google Fonts onto your own server and thereby solve this problem. If you do not know if you are using Google Fonts, and if so whether they have been integrated locally or directly by Google, you must first check this. There are two ways to do so. Firstly, you can use the so-called Google Fonts checker. This will quickly give you an answer if Google Fonts are used on your website. However, to be completely sure, the following second option is also recommended. For example, with Google Chrome, you have the option of using the developer tools. To do this, go to your website and click once with the right mouse button and then on Inspect. Next, select the tab Network. There you can also filter all entries by fonts only. If you then click on a font, you will see how it is integrated. If there is a path that begins with the URL of your website, the fonts are integrated locally and you do not need to worry about anything else. If your fonts are embedded externally, you can tell because a path starts with this domain here. And that would be the non-GDPR-compliant variant that you need to adapt. So now we're going to integrate the font locally using a server management tool. I will now use KeyHelp for this. In this case, you already know which font you want to use. If this is not the case, simply look for the desired font on fonts.google.com. We do not download them here, however, because we still need the fonts in other file formats. In order to offer the best possible display of the fonts for all browsers, we now use, for example, a Google Web Fonts helper, which offers us the fonts in different formats in order to support a wide range of browsers. First, however, we log into KeyHelp. In your user account, you then go to the File Manager. There you can create a folder called Fonts, for example, into which you can then immediately put the fonts you have downloaded. You can, for example, download the fonts directly as a zip file from the Web Fonts helper, unzip them on your computer, and then place them inside the fonts folder, or you can use the simpler variant in KeyHelp in which you only copy the download link, then click on Upload and switch to Download from URL. There you just paste the link and the zip file will be downloaded to your server without having been saved on your computer before. You can also unpack this file directly in KeyHelp now. Now we need the CSS code that is also provided in the Web Fonts helper. Before we do this, however, we change the prefix, which is offered to us below, to the folder in which we have now actually placed the fonts. You now insert this code in the appropriate place in your CSS instructions. This varies according to your application. It is important that you now really replace the integrated Google Fonts and check that your fonts are really being loaded locally. If you have any questions about the background of this topic, please refer to our blog article. Thank you for your interest in this tutorial.